Hey everyone, MTGAddict here with another deck tech. This one is called Ordeal of the Atogs. This is a aura heavy deck and it has really cool interactions, so it's actually really fun on the kitchen table. It can be pretty competitive if you actually have the right cards, but it's mainly played for fun. So let's go ahead and check out the creatures. I have 4 Faith Healers. Sacrifice enchantment, gain life equal to the sacrifice enchantment's total casting cost. I have 4 Auratogs. If you sacrifice enchantment, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. I have 3 Femeref Enchantress. Whenever enchantment is put into graveyard from play, draw a card. Notice that it is any enchantment, so it does not have to be yours, but any enchantment goes to graveyard, you get a card. Then I also have 4 Phantatogs. Sacrifice enchantment, get +1/+1, or you can discard a card from your hand to also give it +1/+1. And then I also have 4 Aura Gnarlids. Creatures with power less than Aura Gnarlid powers can't block it, and Aura Gnarlid gets +1/+1 for each aura on the battlefield. Again, notice that it does not have to be yours, but it can be any aura on the battlefield. Next up, we have our non-creature spells. I have a playset of Rancor, probably one of the most broken creature enchantments ever. For mana fixing, I have 4 Abundant Growths. It does replace itself because when it comes to the battlefield, you get to draw a card. I have 4 Preordains. You can replace these with pretty much any cantrip card that you like. Preordains are pretty good. It just seems to work out very well in this deck. I have 4 Ordeal of Thassas. These by itself are not that great, but actually with one of the creatures in this deck, which we'll get into a sec, this is one of your combo pieces. And then for removal, I have 4 Oblivion Rings. Again, enchantments, works out very well in this deck. Finally, I have a one of Sigil of the Empty Throne. This can be your game winner. Most of the time you will not get it out because you have one of, but I just put it in for fun. And getting 4/4 White Angel creatures with flying are pretty good. Like with most of my decks, depending on your budget, you can always change which lands that you will put in this deck. Although I do have some recommendations. I do have a playset of Seaside Citadels in this deck because the manas actually match up with all the colors played in this deck. So these are recommended. As usual, if you have any random scry lands or anything like that, you can definitely put those in. I do like the scry one. It really does help out with the deck. And it does help you find that card that you need. And anything else that you have laying around, any random duels, the Guild Gates are fine, the fast lands from the Scars of Mirrodin are pretty good. You can go ahead and use any of that you have. And be sure that you have your basic lands as well. And now for the fun part, some of the interactions found in this deck. You'll notice that many of the creatures have sacrifice and enchantment ability. They get their own ability activated, but there are also some good enchantments that you actually want to sacrifice. For example, Rancor, as broken as it is, if it goes to the graveyard from play or from the battlefield, it will return to your hand. So if you actually have the mana for it, you can keep on casting it, keep on getting life, or keep on pumping up your Auratogs and Phantatog, and it works out really well. You will also notice that anytime you sacrifice Rancor or any of your enchantments, that you will get a card just for it going into the graveyard. So this works out really well, especially with the Rancor ability. Ordeal of Thassa, you'll notice the clause where it says whenever you sacrifice Ordeal of Thassa, you draw 2 cards. Now, this does not have to be from the ability itself. It can actually be sacrificed for anything else. So if you sacrifice this to Auratog, you can draw 2 cards immediately. Usually what I do is I'll play it on one of my creatures, attack with it so it gets a +1/+1 counter, and then sacrifice it at the end of combat. Most people know this combo by now. If you sack Oblivion Ring immediately when it comes into play, the permanent will be exiled forever due to the last in first out ability. And of course, anytime you guys are playing with Rancor and you sack it, and this happens to be out, you'll be getting 4/4 Angel Flying tokens in the process, so it's really great. So there you have it. It's a fun deck. Again, not super competitive, but it is definitely fun to play on the kitchen table with your friends. I think it's actually very enjoyable, and it can actually help you out in multiplayer as well. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe. Let me know if you have any requests for booster openings and deck techs, and I'll see you guys next time.